would. Hey guys, it's Fox and welcome to another collection video of sorts. This one will be both a collection video and a little bit of kind of a response or a little bit of an add-on of information to a YouTuber who I really enjoy, Tolarian Community College. I love his videos. And I kind of wanted to add on to a few of the videos he does where he reviews binders. Now, the collection videos I had before, I showed off some dice, sleeves. I don't know if I've showed off deck boxes yet or fat pack boxes. And if I haven't, I might do that in another video. If I did, go look at that video. But this is kind of an add-on, and I don't want to add on like anything because he missed it. It's more or less how well binders hold up. What I mean by that is I have a couple binders with me that I have used for, I think maximum one binder here has been used for like a year and maybe a month. And then I have binders I've used for like 10 months or so. And I just kind of want to show you what happens to them to give you a little more perspective on if you buy them, how long are they going to last, do they break easily, what problems come after long-term use of throwing in your backpack, throwing it on the floor, dragging it around. What happens to these binders? Do they hold up enough to protect your cards? And yeah, I had this idea just out of nowhere and I felt like doing it. So this is the setup I carry around with me all the time. Well, now, anyway. I have one 9-pocket monster binder and I have two enormously fucking large Z portfolios. Sorry for the cursing. I'm gonna try not to curse as much. I may curse though. Yeah, the giant Z portfolios. I actually just got these yesterday because I replaced my two 4-binders with these because the 4-binders are pretty much retired. They're kind of breaking down. The pages are starting to rip and yeah, they don't really hold the cards anymore. Not well. But these Z portfolios are brand new. They're holding my new stuff, all my Magic stuff. I don't carry Pokemon cards in binders anymore because I don't go to events. I have them all stored in deck boxes. So there you go. But yes, this is carrying around all my cards, brand new shiny pages. I have everything sorted by color, so there's a multicolor, artifacts, and red in the back, just because I didn't have enough space. And this is blue stuff. And yeah, these things are pretty good. The pages kind of remind me of the Ultra Pros. When the Ultra Pro pages aren't that great, they kind of very quickly start to stretch. But they're not bad. I keep hitting the fucking tripod. But they're not bad. So far, they're doing pretty good. And they are beautiful as hell, and they are fucking big. These fit into my laptop bag that holds my 17-inch laptop. So these fit into there. I have another bag that these also surprisingly fit into, but it kind of stretches it. So yeah, these things are like very, very big. I don't know. Like, okay, there's some scale for you. 9-pocket monster binder to a 12-pocket Z portfolio. They're pretty good though, and they feel great. They don't feel like they're gonna break anytime soon. So I'm pretty happy with it. So far, they're doing pretty good. And of course, my 9-pocket monster binder. The monster binder is kind of the go-to. At least when I first started Pokemon, I saw everyone carrying around a monster binder. They do last a very long time, and they're pretty strong. I have a couple monster binders back here somewhere. Oh, hey, some random cards that I'll show you that I had used for a very long time. But this is that's the setup that I carry with me now. These are my old 4-binders. I love these guys. These things lasted 10 months. And honestly, it's not that they're broken. They actually can still be used. I can actually still use these to hold like collections and just kind of keep them on my shelf or whatever. The only thing wrong with them is that they kind of break down after a while. And what I mean by that is, if I can find some pages. Yeah, there's one. See? The plastic in these, they kind of just, at some point, just start to crack. And this isn't a rare occurrence. This actually happens everywhere in the binder. There's right there, another one. And I guess you could blame me for that because I do tend to put cards in and out quite often. But that's really what a binder's for. So here's one that I tried to fix with some tape. You can kind of see it. Actually, there's like an entire segment. Yeah, there it is. Can't fix that with duct tape. Jokes. Yeah, the entire thing just cracked off. So I'm pretty sure, given a certain amount of time, all the pages would eventually just kind of like break off. Here's another one I fixed. So that's what happens over time. The plastic pages, over the course of 10 months anyway, the plastic pages just kind of stretch out and crack. Another thing that happens is this starts to break. Again, you could argue it's my fault because I open it up and back out again, but it's a binder, that's what it's for. But you know what? That's really the only problem I found. And again, these are still usable. It's just that the plastic kind of breaks down after a while. It gets kind of crumbly. But otherwise than that, these guys served me very well. I carried them around everywhere. They were in a backpack for the most part during like a 3-day event. And they survived a lot of shit. Like in my book bag, they kind of bend like that. And I take them out, and they're perfectly fine. A little bit of a bend here, but for the most part, they did really good. I got these at a discount when I got them at a Grand Prix. Why is my camera not straight? Probably because I've been hitting it too much. At a discount, and all the stickers on it. Look, Stitch. But yeah, these guys are great. If you can get 4 binders, I'd suggest them. They probably will last longer for you because I tend to abuse these guys pretty well, and they stood up to a good amount of abuse. So yeah, after a 10-month period, the binders are still usable, but I did kind of want to change it just, you know, to kind of get some new stuff going. But yeah, 4 binders. They're good. I love them. And I'm going to miss them, even as they're just kind of going over here. Alright, monster binders. These monster binders, I think this is the oldest one I have. I drew Rigby and Mordecai. I don't know why. And this guy lasted about a year, a little bit more than a year. This was when I was playing Pokemon. Now the problem with monster binders is that they stretch weird. Like they tend to do this kind of weird pattern where they kind of just like stretch. I don't know if it's me because it was like standing there and it just kind of slumps after a while, but it's very strange. They just kind of compress rather than stretch out. But you know, they're still usable. You can still put the cards in. This one's actually missing a page. That's another problem I found with monster binders. The pages, after a while, they'll just kind of come off. Okay. The argument can be made again because you're doing this and this a lot. But it's the binder. That's what it's made for. But for the most part, this cover in particular stood up pretty well. And look, I drew Binding of Isaac on the back. And I taped. Oh no, it didn't stand up. Actually, I remember why I taped this up. There's a crack in the back. Yeah. I can actually show you that right here. This is a 2-pocket monster binder. And this happens quite often. The cover will snap. And I've been carrying this around with me for more than a year. This guy has just kind of been like a little pocket thing. And you can kind of see they kind of crack after a while. And that's long-term use for you. This one was my Pokemon binder for a while. Yes, laugh at the pony stickers. I know it's funny. Ha 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 ha. And this one I had very little problem with. Actually, this one I could still use. The only problem is they get kind of grimy, but that's every binder. I can't really complain. This one's perfect. I have no complaints with this one. It stood up about the same time as that one, maybe a year. And again, the only problem I have, they don't break here. I haven't seen one break like they do in the 4 binder. No pages come out in this one. And yeah, this was my Pokemon binder for a very, very long time. Now, I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe like store some Pokey stuff whenever I go to, if I ever go back to an event for trades. But yeah, this one stood up to a good amount of time. So there you go. Alright, so that's monster binders. Monster binders are pretty expensive though. They go for about $30, $35 for the 9 pockets. Maybe $20 for the 4 pockets, which I have one right here. This one's like almost brand new. It hasn't been used for more than maybe 2 months. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The only complaint is brand new monster binders, and this is a problem for everyone. When you kind of put cards in and fill it up, it'll just kind of puff out like that for a while. But after you just kind of hold on to it for a while, it'll shrink back down. This will stretch out, so it kind of falls flat. I didn't experience that problem with the 4 binders or the Z-folio, but I guess with certain smaller binders, or maybe just specifically monster binders, they just kind of puff out until they stretch out after a while. However, Ultra Pro, which is very often considered to be the budget-friendly binder sleeve mat company, they're very abundant 9-pocket binder, which is everywhere. These go for about 20 bucks. Not too bad. Comparatively to monster binders, these aren't too bad. But I never liked these. And I never liked them, but I used them because budget. But I never liked them. These pages feel so damn weak. They just feel, I could rip them without even trying. And the plastic doesn't feel good. These easily break. These kind of like rivets here, they'll just easily pop out. These spines break so damn much, along with this cord. And the backs, they break so damn often. But again, it's the budget-friendly one. So, there you go. And I have another one here this one's seen a lot more use. I used to use this to hold my trainers and supporters whenever I go to Pokemon events. So the pages are really stretched. Believe it or not, this one actually surprisingly stood up to a lot of abuse. So they're weak, but every now and then you'll get an Ultra Pro binder that stands up fairly well. This is a good example of it. And then they also have the leather-bound one, right here. These things, if they don't break, they'll turn into a fucking noodle. So, and this binder has been used for, again, about a year. So there you go. The pages don't crack. I think the leather-bound ones were made a little bit well. This kind of broke after a while. Yeah, and as you can see, the biggest problem with this one is that the pages just kind of get grimy and dirty. And they get kind of loose in the pockets. But it looks nice, right? And then of course you got the Ultra Pro binders that have a design. Actually, I had to sew this back together because this broke the immediate day I got it. That's good. Look, more pony stickers. I don't know. I think those were shoes. I think I had DBS shoes for a while. But yeah, again, pages are fine. They just feel weak. I like how I said at the beginning, I never liked them, but I have them. Because they're cheap. They're like 20 bucks. Very often you can get them even cheaper on eBay. Yeah, they're good. They're good budget decks. Like Ultra Pro, people hate on their sleeves. I like Ultra Pro sleeves because they cost $3 and you can use them for like 2 or 3 drafts or limited events and they're fine. You don't use them once or twice and then you can toss them and get new ones. These binders, yeah, they'll last. They'll probably last you a good year. Like this one has lasted more than a year. And I've been using it on and off, so you know they'll last, but not too long. And I guess that's it. If you're looking for budget binders, Ultra Pro is probably the way to go. Monster binders are kind of expensive. The Z-folio, however, this was $28. This is not too much money. The 4 binders, I think retail is like $50, $55. I got the 4 binders for $30 each, but yeah, these were like $28, and they're, I don't want to curse, they're beautiful. These are beautiful binders. The pages kind of remind me of Ultra Pros, as I said, but so far they're holding up pretty well. I gotta see how they do with travel and how they do with being in my book bag all the time. You know, how much abuse they can take. It feels like they can take a lot of abuse. The leather feels like it protects the cards pretty well. Plus the zipper is pretty helpful. But yeah, that was my little video about binders. This was inspired by Tolarian Community College. I love your videos, man. I'm a huge fan. And I hope I provided a little more information on the long-term use of certain binders. Any questions, concerns, insults you want to go ahead and fling at me, go ahead and do it in the comments. I will respond to some of them. And if I can't respond to you, it's probably because I don't have a good response, and you're right. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you later more videos. I'm going to go drink every ounce of water in my house because my throat's killing me. Bye now!